The gale of defections has continued unabated as build-up to the 2019 general elections begins to take shape. The political space at the moment is characterized by intense horse trading, permutations and realignments by the politicians and political parties as they strategize to clinch power. This is the focus of Political Update this week. Welcome to the program and glad to have you join us. I am Umar Isa Bununu, and with me to discuss this development is Dalladi Garba Pasali, National Coordinator, Buhari Campaign Organization, and Dr. Sam Amadi, a chieftain of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA. Gentlemen, you're welcome to Political Update.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Let me start with Dr. Amadi. In recent past, we witnessed gale of defections, people moving from one party to another. What does this portend for Nigeria's democracy?
Well, first, from a negative point of view, it shows instability. And by the way, if these movements happen before electoral period, so assuming you can say perhaps they have seen some good in another party, they have changed their position ideologically, but happening always at the close of elections suggests instability. You know, our political maturity is very low, and so politicians are generally focused only on capturing power. It also suggests that perhaps there's no purpose behind looking for power for most politicians. So they look at permutation. If it looks like I'm not going to get ticket from this party, I switch over to another party. If it looks like this party may win in my place, I switch over. It's not good for democracy because it creates essentially a selfish focus on power. Power as power for itself, not power as a process of achieving a strategic objective. So it tells us there's no strategic objective. It tells us our politicians are not maturing in the art of political organization, because the idea of party is to aggregate values and interests. It's even okay if a party is not ideological, but just focus on interests. So you can say, for example, interests of farmers, manufacturers, or whatever. That being the case, therefore, there will be some stability. You stay in that party because you want to achieve an interest. But what we have seen that political parties have been reduced to basically transactional platforms. It's like a market stall. You put your wares. If it's not working, you move to another place. So that's not good for politics. Secondly, I would like to say that it's also not good for, it's a betrayal of voters and citizens' confidence. You see, citizens elect politicians based on two things: their individual worth and perhaps the program of their party combined. And so when politicians desert platforms without ideological difference, without some kind of serious disagreement with either the party's program, but more or less some convenient calculation of who is going to win, who has moved, who has not moved, and so such pecuniary considerations, it therefore is a betrayal of citizens and voters' confidence in them. But then another point of view is this. If you look at somebody like Edmund Bukele, who was a great parliamentarian, he has argued that the legislator is not an agent but a trustee of the people. What that means for him is that he must use his best brain to do what is good for the people. And some people have argued from that point of view that the legislator does not necessarily represent anybody. He just uses his best calculation to fight for his community. And therefore, if that means moving from one platform to another, therefore he's trying to protect his people. But in the Nigerian case, we don't see the sense of trusteeship, that they were there to protect our people, and therefore we use our best brain. If PDP offers me the best idea, I go there. If APC offers me, or APGA. But in this case, it's basically merchandising. It's basically about strategic thinking about what is there for me, either in terms of positions I will get when I decamp, or in terms of which party is more acceptable now, or give me ticket. So that's really not the right way to go in politics.
Alhaji Dalladi, doctors said one of the reasons politicians can defect is when there is conflict between the ideology of the party and that of the individual. What, in essence, is different from what President Buhari anchored his campaign promises? I think they're on three things: economy, corruption,
security.
And security.
Yes.
What is the government doing differently from what it has promised Nigerians in their campaign, during their campaign, sorry?
You see, the truth is that politicians this time around only based on selfish interest. in the sense that people have, just like what you said, the president agenda and even the APC agenda has to do with fight against corruption, insecurity, and then economic revitalization. But the truth is that the people that came in, some of them came in as a mold, and they don't have any social interest of their constituency. And if you look at them, if you look at the reaction, most of them after the defection, if you see the reaction of their constituency shows that they are not in line with the thinking of the commoners of the people that even voted them into power. You see the constituency, how people came out in mass to dissatisfy themselves with them. People came out in mass to show their discontentment because they have been elected under a platform, and at the end they are now switching in because of selfish interest into another platform. It shows clearly that there is no political maturity. Most of these people are not people that are honest. They are not people that really represent the interests of their constituency.
Doctor, one important thing in democracy is party supremacy and loyalty.
Sure.
Why is this that in Nigerian politics, I don't know whether it is because of the affluence of some of the political actors, that's why you see them placing their individual interest over and above national interest. How?
Yeah, that's very sad. If you look at the First Republic and the Second Republic, even from 1980, when we had the Second Republic, we had the MPN and NRC, you discover that the party leadership were stronger. And people gravitated to parties based on natural, orientation. So you can see people, progressives, being SDP. You can see people who you could call maybe conservatives, liberals, being in NRC. So there's a natural alliance of people who are similar in thinking. In the First Republic, we saw the same thing, even though that was more regional. Even regional parties have argued that regional parties are strong, are better than national parties that have no ideological anchoring. So even if you had then NCC, MPC, and then of course Awolowo's party, they were strongly rooted in something. Now, today we have parties that are basically don't have any basic differentiation as much as individuals. So party leadership find it difficult to control members, because in those days you have strong party chairmen, strong party secretaries, institutions, so they determine actually who gets what and how. And people who sign up become cadres. You are a long-standing member of MPC or Congress or NCNC. So there's also leadership recruitment process. So these people move from their youth wing, they move from their ideological camp and become political leaders. They pass through a process. And so that process creates formation and a sense of belonging to that political platform. And therefore, you don't destroy that party because you want to be president or you want to be governor or senator. In fact, people know those who will be governor or senator in the next second because they have built up to that stage. That's what's missing now. Parties are now more like vehicle to get to anywhere. So people just wake up in the morning. If you make so much money, they come and woo you into that party. When you get there, if they're not responding to what you want, and some other people are coming to recruit you, it's like recruitment now. In fact, it's like a football transfer market. If you have money, you recruit who appears to be the best striker in that particular season. And then it comes over to your party. So what is missing now is, first, party orientation. 2, strong leadership. And 3 is people are more carried by individual. Politics has become more about making money. Earlier politicians were much more grounded in either ideological or some kind of strategic geopolitical interests. But today's politicians are totally, most of them don't have anything ideological. They don't even have a regional agenda. They simply have an agenda for making money and for pushing themselves into a higher place of economic empowerment. So it creates a problem for us.
Most of those who defected cited insecurity and underperformance by the federal government as reasons for leaving the APC. How true is their claim?
You see, the truth is that the insecurity they are talking about, if we go back to memory line during the past administration, we find ourselves in a situation where there is a bomb blast even in Abuja, in Force headquarters, in UN headquarters. Everywhere is not safe. In our churches, in our mosques, people are not safe. People are trying to hide in one place or the other. Even in a small gathering of 20 people, you see that people have to recheck whether they are holding anything in their hand. You see, in a situation where there is no such issue, insurgency have reduced to 95%. And also, even this, the recent insecurity you are talking about is more of political killings. Because as at now, if you look at it for the past 2 weeks, the whole thing is no more there because most of them have been defecting from here to there. So you see that the issue has even died down. They have slowed down. We have not been hearing of any mass killing and everything, which is politically motivated. And also, if you look at the issue of fight against corruption, is most of them are people that are facing one corrupt charges or the other. And they have been pleading with the president, with the system, that look, they should do away with issue of fighting corruption. So it's a gang up of looters that feel that, look, let's do away with this government because the government is trying to expose them. The government is trying to see that the right thing has been done. So the truth is that these are people, they are political gladiators that came with a purpose to even disrupt the administration. And they found out that it's not working. So let them push back and see that whether they can take over government, but it's too late. Because the Nigerian masses are behind this, Mr. President.
The Senate President has defected to PDP.
Yes.
And members, the chairman, national chairman of the APC is asking him to give them back their crown. And one from the PDP said there is no crown in the assembly. So what is actually going to happen leadership-wise?
You see, if somebody has an ethical, this is very clear. You came under a platform of the APC and now you are no more member of that party. You should just step down if you have a morality. But these are people that doesn't have that moral thinking in them. These are people that believe that they can switch to any political party and then they can still maintain their status, which is not possible. The truth is that let the National Assembly convene. By the time it convenes, I think the right thing will be done. We're assuring you that he has to leave. He either leave or will know what to do and he must leave.
Doctor,
Yeah.
leadership of the National Assembly at the moment is with Saraki is the head, and he is no more in the ruling party, the APC, which has the majority in the Senate. So, what is there any legal framework that we can work on to at least solve this problem?
Well, I mean, from our own point of view, the All Progressive Ghana Alliance is perhaps in a good position to be more sober. We're not too involved in the conflict. And what we think is what is best. But look at the National Assembly. Section 60 provides, or the Constitution provides, that the National Assembly regulates itself. So it has a procedure for regulating itself. And part of it is that it elects its leaders. And usually, the majority party would provide the speaker or the Senate president, because it's taken for granted that they will vote in. That's what the majority. In the parliament, it will be slightly different. You know, what the party with the majority provides, of course, the prime minister. So the same vein, the party with the highest majority provides. So what will happen essentially is that the National Assembly members have a right at any time they reconvene to vote out their Senate president through a process. Now, if they get on ground, there's dispute as to who is the majority now. We've heard the APC majority leader argue that they still have a slight majority. We've had other people argue that with the movement of Saraki and 13, and of course 2 have said they're not part of it, that the opposition has majority. So I think the simple thing is that once they convene, they do a head count. These are mature people, they know where they belong to. So if they do a head count, even if APC, PDP, opposition PDP is majority, assuming, it does not stop the Senate president from being voted out. If there's enough consensus to generate the numbers, they can vote him out and put an APC senator. If he's happy with his colleagues in the APC are happy with him, they can keep him. So essentially, that leadership question will be resolved by the senators, because they actually elected him. If the APC senators are majority and they think they like him, for whatever reason, they can keep him. Even if the PDP is in majority and the APC people lobby strongly, lobby their colleagues and say, take this guy out, he's not ethical enough to they take him out. So I think in order to save the polity, we should follow the rules, which is Section 60 provides for the power of the Senate to regulate themselves, both through elected officers and define their procedure.
The APC has taken a position.
Yes.
That is, Saraki should leave. And the PDP is saying no, citing the First Republic, the Second Republic, when we had Ome Uzoke as the speaker, who happened to come from the NPP. When they cited, when Tambol defected from PDP to APC, he maintained his seat. And why now? Why are we now saying that he must leave?
You know, during the MPN era, there is an alignment between the MPN and the MPP. It is an agreement. So what we're saying is that Saraki should just come, let it reconvene the House. It's when the House is properly reconvened, it is I know that the position of the party will be very clear. We have other political party, the APGA, and other political party that has 1 or 2 seats. Because the APC are in touch with other political party, and we're assuring you we have the number. In terms of the number, we have the number. And all we're saying is that once, because he has defeated into another political platform, once the House is reconvened, the position of the party is very clear. He has to just leave. Let him leave, then he can be re-elected if he feels he has the capacity.
In 2015, you contested for the governorship under the platform of APGA. And you are still in the party. Won't you defect?
Defection, for people like us, principal people, is a matter of, it's a principal position. If there's no cause to defect, by the way, I am happy with APGA. APGA represents, if you look at APGA manifesto, it represents a commitment to grassroots development. And all my life, I'm more concerned with a people-based policy and program, and APGA for me represents that. And like I said, we might be coming to Nigeria where alliances will now work. So I see a trend in the future where regional parties, national parties, there will be a build-up of alliance, because we need parties that have strong control about human beings. Most of the parties are parties that exist as transactional platforms, but APGA is a party. You can see the example in Anambra, what they're doing. So there's nobody leaving APGA for now, because APGA represents, for some of us younger people, a future, the direction of where politics should go. Focus on rural development.
You will remain until you reclaim your mandate in court.
I have no mandate yet. I have no mandate. We're going for primaries.
Okay. National Coordinator, Buhari Campaign Organization.
Yes.
We welcome you, honor our invitation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Dr. Sam Amadi. Sokoto stood still Saturday afternoon to receive what the people of the state called their political hero, Senator Aliyu Magatakarda Wamako, and reaffirmed support for President Muhammadu Buhari.
The aircraft conveying Senator Aliyu Magatakarda Wamako and his entourage landed, it was almost impossible for the pilot to reach his parking space. Official vehicles of the senator had to get the plane to pick the senator and his entourage. Hundreds of supporters of the senator followed him all the way from the airport, chanting different slogans, affirming their support to President Muhammadu Buhari and Aliyu Magatakarda Wamako. It took the convoy of Senator Wamako hours to reach his destination at Gawanama area because of the heavy traffic. Some of the APC stalwarts and members of the National Assembly from Sokoto and other states described the rousing welcome accorded Aliyu Wamako as a deserving one. Reacting to the defection of the state governor to the PDP, the lawmakers said it will not in any way affect the victory of APC come 2019 general elections.
Aliyu, as you all know, is a man of the people, is a man for Sokoto. And up to now, Aliyu, people of Sokoto are for Aliyu. They are for Buhari. So we are thankful to God that these people have defected, and our party APC will be waxing stronger and stronger, inshallah.
So I'm sure anybody who's doing APC now, if it's not my governor, my former governor, nothing will affect the APC.
I will describe this gathering today as a memorable one, and a gathering that each and every Sokoto citizen must be happy with.
Those that have defected are natural habitual defectors. They started and joined every party that existed from 1999 till date.
Wamako, full cooperation. We have to support them 100% so that they can achieve what they have planned for the state and for the Nigeria as a whole.
Senator Aliyu Magatakarda Takadawamoko was in company of Senator representing Sokoto East, Ibrahim Abdullahi Gobir, all the 7 members of the House of Representatives from Sokoto that have not defected to PDP, and host of APC stalwarts.
Of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has continued to increase in Ebonyi State as the party received in its fold politicians at a mega rally in the state.
Addressing APC Federal in Ebonyi State, the national chairman of All Progressive Congress Party, Comrade Adams Oshomole, who said he was of high spirit, seeing the mammoth crowd who trooped out to not only show solidarity, but make an effort to sustain the good leadership of President Buhari, enjoined the people to continue supporting All Progressive Congress Party.
A government at all levels, including federal government and state government, must fulfill their obligation to protect lives and property, regardless of your ethnic origin, regardless of your religion, and regardless of your social class status. We resolved, we remain committed to those, and we will continue to work for the people of Nigeria.
The Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Obonayono, the Chairman of Education and former Governor of Abia State, Dr. Oju Zokalo, the APC Chairman in Ebonyi State, Pastor Eze Nwachukwu, and the former Governor of Ebonyi State, Chief Martin Elechi, among other party stalwarts, extolled the exemplary leadership of President Buhari, which they said has been very beneficial to the people of the Southeast Zone. They expressed no doubt that APC will emerge victorious in the 2019 general elections.
Enugu Road, the Enugu-Port Harcourt Road. This was in 16 years, but in 3 years, work is going day after day on this road by the APC administration.
Speaking on behalf of other new entrants into the party, Senator Sonny Obuoji expressed happiness for the warm welcome accorded them, while stressing that it is time for APC to take over the leadership of Ebonyi State in order to effect the much-desired changes. High point of the event was the formal reception of the new members by Comrade Adams Oshomole.
Gombe State Governor and former Accountant General of the Federation, Ibrahim Hassan Dankombo, has declared his aspiration to contest for president in 2019, putting to rest speculations about his intentions to join the race. Governor Dankombo made the declaration in Gombe at a consultative meeting with delegates from the Northeast region.
For today's meeting, if you tell me that I should not show interest, that is the end of this protest. Go ahead. Go ahead.
With this declaration, Governor Dankombo has now cleared the air and is no longer a speculation that he is one of the contenders from the opposition parties to President Muhammadu Buhari of the ruling All Progressive Congress, who has since indicated interest to seek re-election in the 2019 general elections. Dankombo said, should his party, the PDP, zone her presidential flag bearer to the north, then it is time for the Northeast sub-region to be supported to produce the candidate that can slug it out with the incumbent president and be able to win back Aso Rock for the PDP.
Over a number of years and months, we have been making a lot of consultations. We felt this time around our zone, the great zone of this country, the Northeast, should be given opportunity to conduct and run the affairs of this country.
Director General Dankombo for President Campaign Organization, Teimba Shija, promised that when the ban on political campaign is lifted, the organization will unveil a candidate of choice for Nigerians. Speakers at the meeting appreciate Dankombo's courage for offering to join in the struggle to lead the country to the promised land. With this, the Northeast region now has 2 presidential aspirants under the banner of the PDP, Governor Dankombo of Gombe State and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar from Adamawa State.
That's it on Political Update this week. Have a nice day.